Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Tuesday, January 11th, 2011. 11/11 today is the date on the calendar as we get started. We are seeing the markets having a small rally today. Dow up 57 points, Nasdaq up 13, S&P up about 7. That's basically a 0.5% move in the markets. Now, we've seen the markets gap up today. We saw a small pullback and then light volume took over. Today is on pace to be as light as the week between Christmas and New Year's. That's how insane this market is right now with lack of participants. Institutions are totally out of this market, again, barely participating in any shape or form other than black box trading programs, which are trading slightly with each other back and forth. And then you have the amateur investor playing around a little bit here and there. But nonetheless, the markets are floating slightly higher today. SPY up 68 cents on the day. Today we gapped up, went right into the blue trend line, and ended up pulling back and then making a surge back up, taking that out, now consolidating in a little bit of a bullish pattern, starting to break higher. It is very likely this market will make a move higher and possibly take out the highs of the day at this point. And where would be the target? This would be the target. You'd look for your pivot high at 127.83. That again is your 52-week high on the SPY. Again, one thing I want to draw your attention to is the common theme in this market, which is early downside very early in the day, resulting in late day light volume moves up that again negate pretty much all the downside. We saw that going all the way back to Thursday here and a sideways to move up. Friday we saw that sharp drop and then a recovery. Monday a gap down and a recovery. And again today you saw a little bit of downside and a recovery back up. It's a standard that we're seeing day in, day out as we continue to watch the Federal Reserve do their magic with their via the $600 billion in QE2. Now, there's been some talk that QE2 could backfire, and there's been nonstop like that. You guys know, those of you that have followed what I've said, that eventually will backfire, but not in the short term. Right now, it's doing exactly what the Federal Reserve wants, which is again creating that wealth effect for the average American. Well, maybe not the average American, but the middle class to the upper class out there are continuing to feel richer and richer as the stock market inflates. Even though food and energy prices are going up, they can generally handle it. It's the lower class, the poor in this country, that are really the ones that will struggle with that. Again, they don't have the investments, therefore they're not making the wealth effect. They're not feeling the wealth effect. At the same time, prices of food and energy are moving higher. So, it's a double-edged sword here. It really is. And in the short term, it's a double-edged sword for different classes of Americans. But in the long term, it's going to be a problem that we all have to deal with as, again, eventually inflation will take over. And again, there's just too much money being printed, too much stimulus being thrown into the market. So far, we're not seeing any job recovery at this point. Now, let's take a look. What's driving the market today? What's keeping the market propped up? The answer is we're seeing stocks that sold off last week and early Monday recover and move higher. Stocks like Freeport-McMoRan, and these are all commodity stocks. Commodities are really the leading sector today. And again, you can talk about Freeport-McMoRan. Look at that chart on Freeport, FCX. Beautiful move up. We're actually nearing the 52-week highs, about 50 cents away right now. U.S. Steel, which was a great short call from last week, we nailed it for quite a few dollars on the short side via the Pro Trader watch list, which is part of the research center. And again, you can see today it's up $1.67, having a good bounce back effect. Look at the fall that we nailed here, adding it to the Pro Trader bearish watch list, and look at that tumble. We removed it here again, and you can see the move back up as you expect to bounce. In addition, Southern Copper's another play right here. This thing got crushed the last few days. That was another beautiful one. And look at the move back up today, up $1.23. And of course, Chevron. Chevron was a classic one that we talked about on the short side all the way back to 92 and change. It fell down, and then again, you're seeing a big recovery. If you take a look at the daily chart, you really shouldn't be surprised on Chevron on the daily chart that it's getting a bid today. Why? Because clearly you can see a pullback into the 20 moving average. Off of the 20 is going to be support. You expect a bounce. It's like jumping on a trampoline. When you hit the trampoline, you're going to get a little bit of a bounce up, and Chevron is making that move. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs both up today, but not up dramatically. Apple's actually down $1.10. I gave a little headway to the premium members of the Research Center on this possible pullback on Apple today. The reason why I said it was you have an extended chart on the daily here on Apple. In addition, yesterday, Apple was running up on hype. hyped because Verizon was going to be debuting the iPhone, saying that, doing this big conference call and so forth, event for the iPhone, and it was a buy the rumor, and now it's a sell the news. This is classic with Apple. In fact, I think I even wrote a possible article yesterday. You can go look on the blog at In the Money Stocks, the Rant and Rave blog, about this event. And sure enough, you are seeing Apple. Even with the markets up today, guess what? Apple's down. So a great call there via yesterday, via the blog, via the Research Center on Apple's pullback. Now, again, how much more downside is there in Apple? A lot will depend on the market. Today's you're getting a pullback because of that sell the news type event. Other than that, it's all going to be about the market at this point. Does the market continue to push up in a strong manner over the next week or two? If that's the case, you really don't expect Apple to fall, at least until it gets to 350. But if the market can start to get a little bit of weakness in it, which is somewhat unlikely based on what the Fed is doing in the light volume, but if it does, then you would see Apple come down very nicely back to about 330, in my opinion, where you'd start to come into the 20 moving average and find support. Okay, earnings from Alcoa came out yesterday after the bell. Alcoa had good earnings. They beat by a few pennies on earnings with good revenues, a lot of positives there. However, if you look at the chart, guys, Alcoa is up 70 or was up 60 to 70% in the last 3 to 4 months. Really, there's no way beating by just 2 or 3 or 4 cents on earnings was going to be enough to propel it up even more. So again, to see a small pullback or a pause on Alcoa is not surprising here. Look at that chart. I mean, it's vertical. They come out with good earnings, of course, but it's not good enough. Remember, the bar gets raised when the stock goes up so dramatically. They have to report even better earnings now than what they expected. And again, they didn't quite meet the bar to continue up. Instead, they're pausing, maybe a little consolidation here. All right. Other stocks in motion. One stock, which was a great call in the intraday stock chat and the research center today, I gave out ASTI. ASTI was a beautiful chart play. Small cap solar here. Solars have been hot. Yesterday, I gave out, or we took profits, a lot of, or at least most of the profits on SOLF and JASO. I gave the call out late last week to buy down here. Look at the pops that you had on SOLF and JASO. Beautiful pops, guys. I mean, these were just home runs on the solar side. So today I said, you know what? Solars have continued to work well for us. We've made a lot of money in the research center in the intraday stock chat. So let's find another one. The answer was ASTI. Accent Solar Technologies. Why? Because take a look at this beautiful chart. I mean, this is a chart that you dream about. Support at the 200, at the 20. The stock was currently trading up into the 50, and look at the bullish consolidation. It moves up, 1, 2, 3 bar up, 1, 2, 3 sideways consolidation on top of the 50. The pop today was a no-brainer. I gave that out, I think, at around $3.70. Was highlighted in the research center in the chat room. It traded as high as $3.95 and is still hovering at $3.91. I mean, you're talking about, folks, 6% gain here on this beautiful trade. And again, this is intraday now. You could have bought it as a swing, that's fine. You could have bought it as a day trade, that's fine. It's more money in your pocket. We're going to continue to put these out in the research center via the hot charts and alerts, via the nightly videos, via the Pro Trader watch list. There's a trades every day that you can make money on, and that's the beauty of it. And we base it on our methodology, which is an 85 to 90% success rate methodology, the highest out there. There aren't hedge funds out there that have that success rate out there, folks. All right, that's the beauty of it. That's what you got to understand. So I do recommend joining the research center. It's a no-brainer. You even have a free trial to go play around with. Take a free trial out, test it out, make some money, and then join up, and you will be very successful in your trading career, in your swing trading and investing careers. All right, going back to the SPY up 65 cents. If I zoom in right now, you can still see you're just hovering up here. The volume is just dying out. I mean, look at these candles right now, almost non-existent. We've done 45.7 million on the SPY, probably on pace right now for under 100 million, which is very, very light on volume side of this market. Now, a couple other things. We want to look at the dollar. The dollar, take a look. The dollar, again, was up early. That's when we had a little bit of a pullback in the market. Remember that? If I go back to the SPY, when was there any weakness today? The answer was in the first 30 minutes of the day. We gapped up, pushed up, and then fell right back down here. When did you see the dollar top out? Because I keep on showing this because I think it's important for you guys to realize that it's inverse. So in the first 30 minutes, the dollar tops out. Ever since then, it's come back in, and the markets obviously have moved higher. So inverse relationship continues to hold true on an intraday basis for the dollar versus the markets. Gold Gold is up 52 cents on the GLD here, or at least the GLD is up 52 cents. Again, it started a little higher, came in sharply, and then has rebounded. Could be a little in spirit of bear flag. I still actually think that this could be, again, a fall candidate over the next few days, but we'll continue to watch it and really analyze it. One thing you're watching for is, as those intraday and nightly video users in the Research Center are watching, we have some key levels right here that we are watching on the daily chart. I will not go into those because that's for Research Center subscribers and intraday chat subscribers only. Oil is having a powerful day. We know yesterday there was an Alaskan oil issue over the weekend, and yesterday that affected oil. Today you're seeing oil move up higher again. I do think oil could continue to move up a little bit more, but again, you don't want to really, at this point, in my opinion, it's not a long, it's not a short, it's kind of a neutral on that chart. All right, guys, I think that's all for now. I just want to encourage you, come join the Research Center, check it out, join the chat room, check it out. You want to make money, this is where you do it, at inthemoneystocks.com. Again, I'll do a nightly video tonight, 30 minutes to 40 minutes in length. We're going to talk about some new plays, new setups. If there's any new trades this afternoon via the swing trades, I will post them in the Research Center, so join up as soon as you can. Let's make some good money. Take care.